do great things. We're unstoppable, incredible, 'cause we're differently abled, differently.
It's yet another time where we link up here on Able Differently, a program where we take charge. My name is CG Moses. Let's get started.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
You've probably heard of Katoi. He has worked hard to make his name despite the circumstances that befell him earlier in his youth life. Here is his story.
This is for real. COG, girl once again.
Focus.
Jerusalem, ndiyo nyumbani. Nilinde mimi.
Meet Dennis Mwaura, who is famously known as Katoi. He introduces himself in a nutshell.
My name is Dennis Mwaura, aka Katoi. I'm a gospel minister, a fashion designer, music writer, and a rapper, and I'm also a performer. Yeah, and above all, I'm born again and I love Jesus. Ministry is my life.
Before our interview commences, Katoi takes a moment to say a prayer.
Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, I come before this great time, oh Lord. Thank you for this particular interview that is ahead of us. God, may you take control and let your blood be with us, oh Lord. Cover us with your blood, and if we make it successful, God, all the glory and honor shall be back to you, Lord. Thank you for this time, and thank you for this interview. We hope God is gonna inspire someone, and I know lives will never, for those who will be listening and watching this program, I know it won't be for vain, and all life will be transformed, life will be changing, mountain will be overcome to God. It is for your own glory, oh dear Lord. Thank you. In Jesus' name we pray and believe.
His love for dancing started way back as a teenager, which made him join a dance group in church. While ministering through dancing, Katoi got an injury that seemed harmless at the time.
I was ministering through dancing, and one day we decided as a crew, we used to dance in church only, but this particular time we decided we're gonna take it to another level. Back then in the days, dancing was it was kinda not good for church, but for us, we are like, outside there people are saying, kwa dunia kuna jibamba, and for us we were enjoying in Christ, so we decided gonna take it to another level. And there we go. We went for Sakata auditions, and we managed to qualify on those auditions. So, but back then, the crew that I was, like, let me say 90% of us were underage. So after the auditions, we were told, like, you guys cannot appear on TV because you don't have an national ID. We were underage. So on that process, but what happened, we were given an opportunity to interact with other group. And there I was a b-boy, and as I was spinning, I had a twist on my back. It was just like a simple twist, and that was it. For me, because the twist was not painful, I thought it was just something just happened. I never took it very serious.
Katoi had ignored the twist in his spine while dancing, but while in church, his body started reacting. What happened next transformed his life completely.
As I was coming from home now to the main service, I came very well and I seated on the chair, and all of a sudden my body started reacting. I was sweating and I had like a very strong stiffness on my body, and all of a sudden my leg, I had no control over my leg. It was just, my leg was shaky and, stretching itself. And from there, my life has never been the same again.
Being raised by his grandmother was the greatest gift he ever had, for it showed him the way to Christ.
My grandma showed me the way, Christianity. So that is the one gift that she gave me, and I'm always grateful to her. Yeah.
Katoi has learned a crucial lesson through this experience. When his family turned their back on him at a time he needed them the most, it dawned on him that it's only God he can rely on.
I was living in an environment whereby, all like my relatives were around me. And guess what? They were ignoring the situation. Like, most of the people have this mindset of when you have a disability, you need to be put somewhere whereby you may feature is like you're hidden there. But for me, when I saw that coming from my family, it was unbelievable.
Staying in the house for 3 months without medical attention, Katoi heard about his spiritual mother being in town, and he knew his help was near, but only if he got a hold of her. Luckily, the lady showed up and took him to hospital.
There was this woman who we met in Uganda. I was in a mission in Uganda, and this particular woman she was like a spiritual mother to me, and we connected. And now this particular time she's around in Kenya, and you see, she's asking about me, and no one was actually telling him where I was. And I overheard she's around. No, I told Gitanji, bro, kindly do me a favor. Go find this woman and let her know where I am. And Gitanji alienda akarudi na huyo mama. And this woman was, what? Why can't even kupeleka basi kwa clinic ama somewhere else? And for me, my family was not there, and I will never blame anyone, simply because of one thing. I switched my mind on like, God, now I don't need people. All I need is you. And this lady came on Sunday, akaniona situation ilikuwa, and he said that the next day, which was on Monday, she will come for me and take me to hospital. And very early in the morning, I was my way to hospital. Alinipeleka, akanibooking na akaniacha huko. But she actually made sure everyone knew where I was, even my family. And there I was. After nimekuwa admitted, the woman had to go back in Uganda the same day. And she went.
Katoi went into a coma upon admission at the hospital. When he came to his consciousness, he could not speak, which was an additional traumatic experience for him as he was on medication.
I'm in this hospital, and the first week I'm in a coma. I don't know what's happening to me. And after the coma, nilirudi, and my body was vibrating. The whole body was vibrating. Now this doctor used to tie me on that hospital bed because of the vibration, so that I can't fall from the bed.
Come the following morning, new patients in the ward had been admitted and a roll call was made, but this time round it was Katoi who had died. A good 3 days in the mortuary, and the unbelievable happened.
Now this particular morning, the doctor came, blah blah blah, present. Dennis Mora. There's nothing. Dennis Mora. So the doctor came to check on me, and I was announced dead. And I was done all the preparation. But let me tell you, this is what I will put like. You see, I relate to Bible, so allow me to use Bible. If the devil knew that if Jesus will be crucified na atatusamea dhambi, angeallow Yesu asulubiwe. You see, but God wanted to tell, like binadamu akifika mwisho, that's why God had to begin. Mungu anazianga mali umefika mwisho, you surrender all things to him. Now she can take over, he can take over. And I'm here in a body bag, taken to not a mortuary, a semi-mortuary. It's like, it is not si kama mortuary yenyewe. It is like a room with maybe beds, zile vitanda zimechapa and whatever. So all the bodies were zineko kwa hiyo mesh. Ndio family kuja identify, so they can take the body to whatever funeral home they want. So I'm there in a semi-morgue. Me, in my mind, I'm in a hospital bed. But in the reality, I'm in a morgue. I'm in a body bag. And this particular day, someone died, and huyo mse wa semi-morgue alikuja na body, akachukua, kurusha lirushia juu yangu. So I came back, and niko kwa bed with nani wamenigonga. So like nataka kufungua blanketi. On that process, I realized, no, this is not a blanket. This is something else. And you see how you touch yourself, like, am I okay? Because remember nikitoka huko, I couldn't even like use my hands. And then now I'm using I had to unzip the body bag slowly. And now the morgue attendant had alisikia kuna some movement, in that morgue. Kuna movement. And alirudi kurudi na mimi nikatulia, so we are like wacha tupimane akili. Umesikia movement, wacha nitulie usikia kuna movement. Nikatulia pia, so he was everything is okay. So akatoka tu nje, alikuwa anavuta sigara tu nje hiyo semi mogenda. Nilianzi pole pole, nikashuka, nikaanza kucrawl kama mtoi towards the door. So as I was crawling, ujamaa realized the movement ni mob, so he had to come back and check. And on that nini tulikutania kwa mlango pub. You know I'm naked. I'm in a semi-mog. Not for a day, for 2 days. I've been there for 3 days. And this guy knew I was there for 3 days. So he disappeared. And ilikuwa ni drama like amefufuka. And this guy is screaming. Everyone is asking who. You know, and I'm in that door of that semi-mog. And people are looking at me at a distance. Like, this is not impossible.
According to Katoi, acceptance of oneself is key to living better and forgiveness being a sure way to healing.
The process is very simple. Forgive those who you think they did wrong to you. After you forgive, I believe that the peace you will have, pia utafeel kuna kitu offload. You see, forgive and press on.
This is how you can follow and listen to Katoi's music.
Support my music, support ministry. If you wanna maybe hook up with me, my social handle at Katoi COG on Instagram, at Katoi Music on Twitter, and on Facebook Katoi COG. Yeah, so what's up?
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
The story of Katoi is very inspiring. We wish him all the best in his life journey. You can also support his work. We'll be right back after this short break.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
Welcome back. We are slowly introducing the new normal in the society after COVID-19 pandemic hit the world. Schools are reopening, but with strict regulations. We visited Sikri Technical and Vocational College for the blind and the deaf. Here is the story.
Learning institutions for persons with disabilities remain scarce in the country. This is because schools that are set up do not cater for the well-being of a child with disability. Therefore, it is impossible to fit in. Currently, there are calls for inclusive education so that schools can accommodate any child with or without disability. Sikri Technical and Vocational College for the Blind and Deaf is situated in Sikri in Oyugis and has been admitting learners who are deaf and blind.
This is a special institution, probably in the Ministry of Education, State Department of Vocational and Technical Education, as the only institution that admits students with multiple disabilities. We have students that are blind, and we also have students that are also deaf. Some of our sister institutions admits only blind or even deaf, but for us, we have both the categories. We also have a class that deals specifically with students that are gifted and also talented.
We have students who are having dual kind of impairment and multi kind of disability. It means that some are having low vision with a hard of hearing, or total blindness or deafness with different levels of disabilities.
Due to different levels of grasp, the learners are assessed and placed accordingly.
When they come here, we come with different levels of entry based on their cognitive ability and some of the previous skills they have learned. So when they come, we do what is called educational program, individual educational program. We make an IEP for all of them, which means their training is based on individual educational program, whereby when somebody has come, we assess him to our level, then we know his entry point.
The training offered in this institution is hands-on, as they aim on making the students fit in the society without much dependence.
There are different courses. Some are short skills courses, some are long skills courses. But in the deaf-blind department, we find that we train them in general agriculture, where they can keep the poultry, take care of animals. They can also make horticulture gardens, despite that they're not seeing or hearing, but after training, they end up doing it so well that one may not even believe that they're the people doing it. At the same time, we train them in weaving, carpentry, making, doormats. We also have them here. They are here. You can even see them if you like. We also make the weaving, basketry, the scales. At the same time, we also introduce them to some support subjects, which we say basic competency, whereby we have communication.
The boy is deaf-blind. These are math, and he does it very well. That's complete ones, so they are not here. Some we sell for them. And once they are here, I check them. Small things like shop or something like that. So we are intending to improve the work so that when they go back to their homes, they can earn a living.
In the school farm, they rear chicken, pigs, cows, and also plant crops, therefore exposing their students to the practical side of agriculture.
At my back is a 2-acre maize plantation, and in front of me, beside there, we have a 2.5 acre of maize plantation.
Students also go for attachment as part of their course, and one lady, Pamela, has been of great help when it comes to this.
This is a great institution because of the talent I've seen in my farm. The people I've gotten from this place have transformed my farm, and it's a model farm in the county of Migori, and I'm very grateful.
Like Daniel, many trainers venture into self-employment since employment in the country still remains scarce.
I try some farming. I dig. I go out to dig on the field. I rear some kienyeji chicken. I plant avocado, pawpaw, bananas, and maize.
When we visited the institution, they were preparing for reopening of schools as instructed by the Ministry of Education.
We have reviewed our policies, our admission policies, our rules and regulations, so that in line with the requirement of the Ministry of Health and also to conform with the regulations that can keep our colleges, staff and students COVID-free. We have removed what used to be the old curtains in classroom in wholesale. We have actually bought and put on new ones. We have bought new furniture. We have demarcated the rooms in line with the regulations to keep the social distance of 1.5 and some places even 2 meters because of the kind of students that we have.
They face a number of challenges given the students that the institution admits, but he is optimistic that they will come around.
We are really worried how we are picking up because we need total protection For example, for us to start teaching them the way we are teaching, we need the PPE, the protective devices, like the doctors. Is when we touch them, because we have to touch them. We have to be close. If we are not close to them, they will be in their own world.
We are putting a lot of washing points at those gates. Signages have been installed basically everywhere in the college that can direct these students. We have students that are giving us a bit of challenge on how we are going to manage them, but we have come with ways, and those are the students that are basically blind. They can't read our signages, but we have pre-recorded messages that we have installed, especially at the washing points, where these students can actually be reminded that when they are walking, there's a washing point at a particular point, with a message, a pre-recorded message that's telling them to sanitize or to wash at that point. The students are very well trained on the environment. They adapt. They don't need a lot of guides around to work with them. We have a lot of environment training where the students adapt to their surrounding. They know where they stay. They know where they walk. They know where the dining halls are.
Apart from this COVID-19 scare, the institution also faces other challenges.
Another challenge is communicating with the parents. It's sometimes difficult. Another challenge, most of them, I don't know whether it is a tradition or a culture, most of them you'll find that they come from poor families. So instead the family neglect them and only cater for those who can go to higher schools and whatever.
Despite all this, they are always working towards making the school better day by day and are currently working on developing a curriculum.
That's really created a lot of awareness to the people with deaf blindness and people with a visual impairment. Formerly, they were not even appearing in our curriculum, and I am proud to say that with the collaboration with the Kenya Institute Curriculum Development, Sikri became the first group in 2007, I think, to develop that, to help in developing curriculum for the deaf blind, and that's what we are using. And now the SENS are coming up to help us develop a improved or adapted curriculum for the deaf blind fitting the CDAC curriculum, which is the TVET. So that one, we have started working on it. We only need some reinforcement so that at least we come up with this. If the CDAC feel that whatever we are making is meriting, then the possibility will be used in the whole country.
Because we're differently abled, differently.
All right, let's take a look at the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability.
Article 6 of the UN Convention states that state parties recognize that women and girls with disabilities are subject to multiple discrimination, and in this regard shall take measures to ensure the full and equal enjoyment by them of all human rights and fundamental freedoms.
On the tip of the day is all about being gentle to persons with disability. Avoid grabbing them even with an intention of helping, as you will throw them off balance, and many of them depend on their arms for stability. And that's it for the show today. See you next time. I've been your host, CG Moses. Bye-bye.